Natasha Lyn Myles. Stand up and self-care. This is Robin O'Brien, tarot card reader extraordinaire.
Is it okay if I call you a tarot card reader, or is it in the community, is there a better?
No, I would say that's accurate. Yeah.
That's accurate?
Yeah, it describes the
Okay, nice.
thing
So I
that
got
I
it right off the bat.
nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay. So I guess for people that may not know, what is tarot?
So historically, I have an art history degree, so that's just how I approach everything.
Yeah, we're based in facts here.
Let's a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll take a little journey. Okay.
Before we go into this week's brief history lesson, let me introduce you to this week's comic and sad person, Simon Glassman.
What would you rate your mental health at this time between 0 and 10?
Oh no. I'd say like 2 weeks ago, probably like a 4, but now probably like 5.
Okay, so it's an ever-moving train upwards.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that either. I don't know. Class, it just, everybody's got going, it's up and down, like a piston. So good. It's fine. Yeah.
Ooh, yikes. Okay, back to the history lesson.
So tarot cards, as they like the same deck that I use basically, or will use soon, is from like the mid 1400s. Northern Italy is sort of where it kind of came from. There's a lot of different cultures that have sort of a version of it. But tarot cards as we know them today, like used as sort of like a divining technique, really evolved sort of in the late 1800s. So it's like not that old really when you think about it, like used to like, I don't know, tell people's futures or kind of based in that like occult type space.
Yeah.
Late 1800s, that was like a big fad, right? You'd have like mediums on stage and people would go visit, like that whole thing.
People were living.
They were living the occult vibe.
Right.
And that's sort of how tarot cards as we know them today in the like spiritual sense. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I guess so. It isn't that old.
Not really.
She's a young gal. Tarot.
Yeah, tarot. She's not that old.
So how long have you been doing tarot?
Since I was about 14. My mom had this like really ancient deck like from like the late 1800s in the house that she got at like an antique mall or something. But we grew up in like a little bit religious household. So when I started playing with it, she was like, I don't know if I'm okay with this. I'm like, it's your deck. Like you brought it into the house. I don't know what
you're
you
like,
expecting.
don't tempt me, girl.
I'm 14. I just watched The Craft. Like, what do you want from me? So, and then she eventually bought me my own deck. She was like, oh, this is kind of cool. There's a lot of like introspection and, she's looking into herself. So that's cool.
Right.
So the deck I'm actually working with today, I've had since I was 14. So like,
wow. We're honored.
Something years, 24 years, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess in relation to how long tarot's been around, she's really young then.
Really?
She's
really
a
young.
baby.
She's just a baby.
Speaking of babies, let's check in with Simon and see how he takes care of his mental health.
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I don't even really understand mental health. It's like, I feel healthy if my body feels good, but if my brain, I don't know how to fix my brain if I don't feel good.
Here's where I asked Simon if he really even cares about his mental health.
I mean, these are questions that are.
Yeah, this is what the series is
This is
about.
pertinent. I do care, yeah.
So since today we're exploring different ways to improve our mental health.
Yes.
I guess the question is, how can tarot improve one's mental health?
Oh, it's such a great question, and I personally use my tarot deck for my own mental health a lot. I think that introspective piece that I mentioned is great. Like, as much as you're asking the tarot card questions, and like when I was 14, it's like, what boy am I gonna kiss next?
I'm thinking about what boy I haven't kissed.
And like now it's like, is my career gonna work out, right? But when you ask questions of the tarot deck, really, I find the tarot deck's like asking questions back to you. It's not really answering in this like specific sense that we think it's going to. It's like, yeah, but are you happy? What do you want to do? Like, do you need money? Is it an energy thing? So I find that the feedback that it sort of engages in is ultimately the space that you find yourself. So kind of like a therapist.
Let's see what Simon thinks tarot is.
It's sort of like Pokemon for adults, where you're reading from cards, and those cards have powers, and sometimes they have upgraded powers.
What else would Simon equate tarot to?
It's sort of like Uno. Like a form of, metaphysical Uno.
So, what's your favorite Uno card?
Probably the reverse card. That'd be fun. If you're tarot carding and then they're like, oh, you're going to die. And then you give them the old reverse tarot card. And then they are the ones who are dead.
Hot take.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. So, it's like a good tool for self-reflection.
Huge, yeah.
And
100%.
could it also be used for like planning, that kind of thing as well?
Yeah. Especially like there's a few different reads that you can do. If you were to do like a 1-card read on a specific issue, that might reveal something about it. If you were to like do 3 cards, okay, that's a little bit more information. There's plenty of reads that you can do, like the Celtic Cross read, which is like 12 cards, and then you can do another 8 or another 12 down the side that can sort of are designed to like peer into the months ahead.
Cool.
So you could use that to sort of like guide you a little bit. Sometimes you have cards that pop up and you're like, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Right.
And it's interesting because if you like let it just simmer a little bit over time, sometimes those things kind of reflect back, and if they don't, you just kind of forget about it.
Just move on.
Yeah. Or it's not for you to know. It's like, out in the universe somewhere and
Yeah.
unknown piece. Yeah. So.
Because I think sometimes when people think about tarot, they think of like, remember the game we used to play like at recess, MASH?
Yeah.
Totally, where it was
totally.
like, you're going to get like a very specific answer, like, I'm going to live in a mansion on this street and I'm going to have this exact occupation.
Exactly.
And I think people kind of equate like the cards are going to tell you like exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. But it's more of a way of getting like, I guess, a general idea of if you're going in the right direction.
Yeah, I like using the word divining, kind of like when you divine for water.
I like that.
So you're kind of like, getting directed in a certain way, but it's not, like you said, it's not, you don't turn the card and it's like death and you're like, I'm gonna die. It's never that literal.
Right.
Yeah. And
Which
death doesn't even
I
mean
guess
that.
leads me to my next question, which is like the obvious question is sometimes people think it is kind of like what you mentioned historically as like a dark magic, like a dark force. What do you say to people who are like...
I'm very cynical about the whole enterprise of, somebody telling my fortune, to be honest.
The idea that it was like rooted in this like mystical quality in like the late 1800s, ladies with their hair all done up and all whatever. Yeah. I think that's really cool, and I think that's part of what plays into its like allure,
right?
Or like mystical quality. I think the practicality of tarot is that it can be so much more therapeutic, and it's funny when you get people sitting down to be like, oh yeah, give me some magic, and then they learn something profound about themselves and they're like, wow, I didn't think this was going to be like a therapy session. And
if there could be a correlation between improving your mental health and participating in this activity that we're going to do today, would you be interested then?
Yes.
Whoa, man, cool it on the enthusiasm. And with that, I think it's time to move on to our tarot card reading with Robin.
So we're going to do a reading. Simon, are you excited?
I mean, honestly, the more I think about it, no.
Okay, I think that's fair, and we really appreciate your honesty. And Robin, are you excited to do this?
Yeah, like I'm nervous to read for a comedian a little bit, I think, but I think Simon seems like a really nice guy, so...
If it makes it any easier, I'm not successful.
Okay.
I can vouch. There's no need to be nervous because it's Simon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so maybe, Robin, do you want to just explain what is going to happen here so that Simon knows, and then we will get right into it?
Sounds good. So generally what I do when I'm at an event or if I'm working with a client is I'll do a 3-card read. It's like an easy way to sort of, have 3 different cards in a row. You can play off of them a little bit. If I just put 1 card in front of you, it's not like a lot of information. 3-card gives us a little bit more to work with. I read it as like 2 sides of an issue. The issue is kind of sometimes in the middle, 2 different perspectives, or it can be like a past, present, future.
How does specifically the magic gather?
From above.
Yeah, I would say that like tarot card readings are like, you could look at them as magic a little bit. You could also just look at it as like personal interpretation, So the magic is like within you. Next step, I will get Simon to actually shuffle the cards for me a little bit. So he's kind of adding some of his energy, something like that, if you can, if you want. Some people do a little bit of this, and you're just kind of thinking about things as you do it.
Oh, babies. They're just like...
I mean, I guess a baby could read tarot cards if they really wanted to.
Well, this is the closest thing you're going to get to a baby reading tarot cards here today. Amazing. Okay, so I guess we'll just do the shuffle. Are you ready, baby Simon?
Tarot cards, as they would have started like around the mid 1400s in Italy, would have been more like a regular deck of cards. It wasn't until the late 1800s that they kind of took on that spiritual maybe side. So
like an ace meant something.
Yeah, exactly. So similar to a regular deck of cards, you have the four suits: hearts, spades, clubs, diamonds. Tarot cards are kind of the same. They have wands, swords, pentacles, and cups. And then there's one extra deck, which is kind of like a trump deck, like if you were playing a game of cards and you had an ace or a trump suit. And there's like a whole extra deck that has maybe like a little bit more meaning. So if you see a major arcana card, you'd be like, oh, well, this one has a little bit more significance in the read. Whereas if you had like a 3 of cups or a 2 of, pentacles or something like that, you would kind of read it together. But the major arcana card would sort of stick out. You'd read that one as being a little bit more important.
So in tarot, jokers do matter. They do. Okay, Simon, are you ready?
Yeah, I really want the Joker card now.
You did a really good job of putting your energy into it. I really noticed that.
Soaked with my aura.
Feel a bit of a split. So if you cut them with your left hand and place that top half here. Perfect. Great. And then we're going to read from this top card, okay? Oh, interesting. Okay. So as we were kind of talking about the major arcana, this 2 here, the High Priestess, is in the major arcana deck. You have 8 of Wands and 3 of Swords. As you can see, the 3 of Swords is a little bit pained. He's maybe experiencing some heartache. There's a little bit of downpour happening. And so, this particular deck, yeah, I would say that like maybe heartache is part of the 3 of Swords. I don't want to be all doom and gloom because that isn't the case. 8 of Wands is opportunities and different things that are coming your way, and it's kind of like an all or nothing type of read to me so far. High Priestess is really attuning and getting clear with your own intentions about what you want to do. So just because all those opportunities are coming your way doesn't mean you have to necessarily take advantage of each and every one of them. The High Priestess would be really great at setting boundaries. She'd be the type of like leader that would say, yes to 4 of those things and maybe no to the rest, or have some kind of balance there. Now, the 3 of Swords is interesting because that may be difficult for you to do. Maybe you're the kind of person that says yes. So this is like
pain opportunities and make a decision?
I mean, sure, in a nutshell, yeah. Okay. That's kind of what I see. I think like this card is promising, though. When you see a major arcana card, it does mean that you're being guided through the process. You're not necessarily like alone, right? Like a kind of presence about her. She kind of rules in her like chambers, the way that she's set in the card. So there is an element too of being maybe the director of your life, or being somebody who kind of can take charge of those types of decisions and doesn't necessarily find it.
Like I'm the one who's I have to make the choice.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's the Wands?
Where Swords is decision making and sort of hard and fast, yes or no, black and white type of things. Wands is more like play fight. So it's more like going through the motions and sort of like mistakes can be made and it's not paramount. In Swords, it's like if you make a mistake, it's kind of like, oh crap, you missed out on that opportunity, move on to the next. Wands is a bit more like there's room to grow, there's room to make mistakes and take risks. And the Wand suit in general would say, like, if there is an opportunity to take that risk. So I think it's about being discerning with those opportunities, but also understanding that there's like an incredible amount of opportunity there.
Okay. It's just this one really bothers me because it's like, if there was like a colon cancer tarot card, that's like what it would look like. It's just this guy is just like hunched over, clearly not able to have his like some type of hemorrhoidal issue. And then
Swords is a difficult card. in the tarot card deck. And not to make it too personal, like I would say, rather than like hemorrhoids or something, I would say it's a pain of the heart. It's maybe yearning for something that you've yet to like really see a return on investment, that maybe you've put more into.
I think that you should focus on the positive, and it shows you that you have a lot of opportunities that you need to be maybe a little bit more picky about. Would you agree from that interpretation?
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that Robin and I pretty much changed Simon's life. And now he's going on to ponder every opportunity that it's about to come his way, which hopefully isn't colon cancer.